Hey everyone, have you ever stopped to think about how we actually learn new things? I mean, not just cramming facts for a test, but truly, deeply understanding a concept? Well, today, we are going to break down an amazing framework called Bloom's Taxonomy, and we're going to do it in super, simple, easy-to-follow English. So, here's the big question I have for you today. Do you just memorize facts, or do you truly understand what they mean? See, rote memorization is pretty common, right? It's what we usually do in school. But real, genuine, critical thinking, that is a whole different ballgame. And that brings us to the 6 levels of critical thinking. Think of learning as an active journey, kind of like climbing a staircase. You start right at the bottom with the absolute basics, and step by step, you climb all the way to the top. Let's walk through these steps together using a really simple everyday example. Let's say, baking a cake. All right, the very first level, right at the bottom, is remember. This is simply recognizing and recalling facts. In our cake example, this would be like memorizing the list of ingredients: flour, sugar, eggs, baking powder. It's the foundation, sure, but just knowing the names of the ingredients doesn't mean you actually know how to bake a cake, right? That takes us up to the next step: understand. Now you're grasping what those facts actually mean. So instead of just reciting the word baking powder, you understand that baking powder is the ingredient that makes the cake rise. You're starting to get the why behind the facts. Okay, once we have that basic understanding locked in, we hit the middle levels. This is where the action really starts. We're moving away from just passively taking in information, and we are starting to actually put it to use in the real world. The third level up is apply. This literally means putting your knowledge to work. It's taking that recipe you memorized and understood, going into your kitchen, mixing those ingredients together, and actually baking that cake. You're executing the task. Right after that comes analyze. Here, you are taking information and breaking it down into its component parts. Let's say your cake came out totally flat. Bummer, right? But if you're analyzing, you look at the pieces to figure out why. You'd ask yourself, did I use the right baking temperature? Did I forget the baking powder? You are connecting the dots. Now we are stepping into the top-tier mastery levels, the absolute peak of the pyramid. At this stage, you aren't just absorbing or applying information anymore. You are completely commanding it. The second highest level is evaluate. This means you can accurately judge the value of information or ideas. In the baking world, this would be tasting 2 completely different cake recipes and being able to confidently explain which one is better and exactly why it's better based on the texture and flavor balance. You become the critic. And finally, right at the very top, we have create. This is true mastery. It's taking everything you've learned, all those ingredients, techniques, and evaluations, and combining them to make a completely new whole. You aren't following someone else's recipe anymore. You are inventing your own brand new signature cake from scratch. So I want you to ask yourself honestly, at which level does your learning usually stop? Don't just get stuck at the bottom memorizing facts. Push yourself. Analyze things, evaluate them, and ultimately go out there and create something totally new. Keep climbing that staircase.